first time I felt like the other. On the other hand, I had to learn the language, and I had to I was that kid at school where you're like, okay, I don't know what the kid is wearing. There's some weird English language on his t-shirt. So certainly I was looked at it a little differently. And I think so that's kind of like the first time where I feel like the other. I didn't have a term for it at that time. And then when I moved up to, San Gabriel Valley, that was a little bit more normalized in terms of growing up, in this sort of predominantly Asian American community. I went to school at UC Irvine. I studied econ. And towards the end of it, I actually fell in love with the music, hip-hop music at that time. And so in that era, it's kind of what I would call sort of golden era, like where you listen to B.I.G., Tupac, and so on. And to sort of scratch my itch, I was interning at Merrill Lynch at that time, because that's once again, for econ degree, it's a straight path. But I was also interning at that time, sort of the premier hip hop magazine called the Source magazine.
That's so cool.
And as you will probably imagine, there aren't too many people that look like me in the hip hop industry at that time. And I helped them build they had the hip hop awards at that time that was basically being televised nationally. So imagine an Asian kid that's really into the music, into the culture, in an environment with tens of thousands of African Americans or Black Americans that are from all types of variety of neighborhoods. That was kind of like the second time where I distinctly feel and understand what does that other mean, whether that's negative or positive. But for me, it was a positive. It was a way for me to understand, to learn who I am, and also understand the environment when it's different, like how do I react and what do I do at that point.
What would you recommend to those who are looking to make changes to their career or business? Can you leave us with that thought?
Oh, wow.
Something
Okay.
memorable other than, open mouths get fed.
Um,
'Cause I'm hungry. So I'm going to remember that line. But I'm pregnant, so I'm always hungry.
We're going to eat after. Let's eat after. I would say, for people who want to change their career or their business, this may sound cliche, but it's very true. Taking my own sort of personal experience is that it surely is, it's a people business. No matter what industry you're in, whether you're in finance or in manufacturing, or apparel and so on, it's a people business. In order for somebody to change trajectory, depending on either early on or mid or later on, a lot of times, it's the best way is through the network and the people you know. And those relationships are built in rooms such as this one and communities such as this one. There are many times where, I've grown quite a bit of a sort of network and also great relationship within the Asian American community. And time again, they have stepped up and helped me and also make recommendations in various parts of my life. And I think because the bond over here that's being established, it's a little bit different than if you go to a conference that's more industry focused. There's a sense of we want to help each other. It's a community that's bigger than what you do. This is almost a place where you treasure and you value who you are, which is much more powerful than what you do. So that's what I would say.